These are the Compubox numbers for the Sergey Kovalev Eleider Alvarez rematch, and they're pretty startling numbers. Sergey Kovalev threw and landed more than double the number of punches that Eleider Alvarez threw and landed. As you can see here, Kovalev threw 816 punches to Alvarez's 369, so more than double. Kovalev landed 213 punches to Alvarez's 111. And Kovalev outlanded Alvarez in 11 of the 12 rounds. And when you take an even closer look, it gets even more startling because it's a very high punch output from Sergey Kovalev indeed. I mean, in one of the rounds here, people, round 7, Sergey Kovalev threw 105 punches. That is an extremely high punch output for a light heavyweight. And in most of the rounds here, Kovalev has got a very high punch output. Round 12, Kovalev threw 78 punches. Now, I know he's not putting as much power into most of these shots as he normally would in a fight. He would normally put a lot more power in and, therefore be scoring knockdowns and knockouts, but also be making himself more vulnerable. In this fight, he concentrated on just keeping a nice work rate, but flowing with it, taking it easy, not forcing his work, being defensively aware and defensively responsible, using his jab a lot and controlling the action. This is what he focused on, boxing rather than looking for the knockout. But be that as it may, these punch numbers are still very impressive for a light heavyweight. Look at this. Round 2, 71 punches thrown. Round 3, 75. Round 5, 73. Round 6, 72. Already talked about 105 punches in round 7. 77 punches in round 9. 78 punches in round 12. I've never seen Sergey Kovalev in this kind of shape before. I did mention in my live audio commentary, and if any of you guys haven't heard my live audio commentary for Kovalev Alvarez 2, it's on my live streaming channel, Hatman Boxing Live. Just look it up or, go to my channel page. You'll find a link to it. And in that live stream, I mentioned the fact that Kovalev's midsection looked a lot more chiseled than I've ever seen it before. Like his abdominals looked a lot more chiseled and pronounced than I've seen them. To me, that's indicative of him clearly working, maybe not harder, maybe working smarter. He's got a strength and conditioning coach on board who's obviously done a very good job. And perhaps concentrating on doing abdominal work to protect against those body shots which he appeared so vulnerable to in the Andre Ward fights. So yeah, very interesting Compubox numbers, but shocking because of how many punches Kovalev threw, but not shocking in the sense that I knew just from watching the fight that Kovalev was throwing and landing way more than Alvarez was. I didn't need Compubox to tell me that. I saw that with my own eyes. But to see the actual extent of how many punches he's thrown is shocking, pretty damn surprising at the very least. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I've seen some people say that they thought the fight was relatively close through the first half. I really don't. They say that Alvarez was landing the cleaner blows. I don't know about that. I think a lot of people were missing the shots that Kovalev was hitting gloves a lot. No question. He was hitting gloves an awful lot. But there was also shots getting through. I think people were missing the right hands that were sneaking through Alvarez's guard. And they were thinking some of them were being blocked when they were actually getting through the guard. I also think they were missing the right hands that Kovalev was curling round the side of Alvarez's guard from time to time. Because he would throw shots in combinations. Sometimes he'd throw shots to the front of Alvarez's guard. And that would bring Alvarez's guard together, and then he'd sneak a shot round the side at the back end of the combination. Let's say he throws 5 punches, 4 were blocked, 1 gets through. That was happening quite a lot if you watch closely. So yeah, I don't go with this notion that Alvarez was, landing the cleaner shots through the first 5. I think he was the few shots that Alvarez did actually land, I mean, were clean, I guess, but I think Kovalev was landing more clean shots than Alvarez through most of the rounds. You know, it just so happens he was also hitting gloves a lot of the time. For example, let's say Kovalev hit the gloves with, I don't know, 50 shots, but 10 of them got through clean. Alvarez might have only hit Kovalev's gloves, I don't know, 20 times in the fight, but 7 of his shots got through clean. Kovalev still landed more clean shots. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think that's what was going on there. That's what my eyes showed me, and that's what the Compubox numbers are also indicating. This was a schooling, people. That's what it was. Eleider Alvarez got absolutely schooled by Sergey Kovalev. He got a boxing lesson, and it was a very impressive display. Let's see if Kovalev can carry this type of form forward with him in the home stretch of his career. I mean, most of us are assuming it's going to be that. A lot of people were writing Kovalev off, and understandably so, because most fighters in Kovalev's situation would have suffered these defeats in a relatively short period of his career. You know, he's lost 3 of his last 5 prior to the Alvarez rematch. Most fighters in that situation, particularly when they're 35 years of age, they do start to slide and they do start to show the cracks and basically disappear off into obscurity. That does tend to happen with most fighters. And particularly given the nature of Kovalev's losses, you know, he really fell apart against Andre Ward and in the first Alvarez fight. He didn't really show much spirit for battle. So when you take that into account, it's perfectly understandable that people are writing him off. But he's regrouped, he's come back, and he's shown a lot more metal than most of us thought he had in him. So let's see how far he can go with it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.